Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel, Sasha Reads, and this is my February reading wrap-up. So, this is a new setup. We have moved into the new place. I have not unpacked any of my books yet, so this is going to be a bit chaotic. I do have my reading journal here though, so hopefully I will figure out what's going on. The kids are sleeping right now, but I am expecting them to wake up because they always seem to wake up whenever I turn this camera on. So let's do this. For the month of February, I read 19 books and DNF'd 1, which is pretty good for February, seeing as the 2 Februaries before then I read about 4 books. So very happy with that, but now seems like March is now my slump. I'm kind of slumping right now. Like, I don't really want to pick a book up. I don't know if it's because they're all packed away. I'm a little bit stressy at the moment, so I've just been like binging Daria, so.
But I like having low self-esteem. Makes me feel special.
Pages read 5,637 pages, which is pretty cool. Favorite book is gonna have to go to Iron Widow by Jiren J. Zhao. Such an amazing book. I can't believe I put it off for so long. I really wish I picked it up earlier, like I was supposed to read it last year, but I didn't. But I finally read it, and safe to say I loved it. And it actually is the first one that ticked yes on all across the board, because I like to write down like if they were BIPOC, queer, if I own them, and if they were on my TBR, and it was yes, 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 yes. And I like hybrid read it. I listened to it, and sometimes I picked it up physically as well. And then my worst book, actually not the DNF, it's actually Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. I read this for Jante's Inferno. It was also a 12 Recs by 12 Friends, and unfortunately it just wasn't for me. I'll talk about it soon, but for a romance book, I wasn't vibing with the romance, which is saying something. I did vlog a lot of these books, but my computer still hasn't been set up, so all the footage is on there. So I've only got my laptop, so you probably will see this video first before you see any of my vlogs. So out of the 19 books, I owned 5 of them. 4 of them were physical reads. 8 of them were by BIPOC authors. 8 of them had queer representation, and 17 of them were my TBR, which is so crazy to me. So even though it might not have been my February TBR, they were on a yearly or on a different TBR. I was planning on trying to do 112 rec a month. January I didn't, so in February I read 2. One was Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, and that was recommended to me by Zoe over Book Reviews with Zoe. That was a 5-star read. That was amazing. I loved it so much, and I'm very thankful to Zoe for recommending it to me. And then, like I said earlier, Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly, which was recommended to me by Meredith. Just wasn't that great, but that's okay. Like, we can still be friends with people but have different reading tastes. I'm just gonna go with what I started at the front. Apparently I read Zodiac Academy The Awakening in February. That was so long ago. That was a reread for me. We are doing a read along on Meredith's Discord. Emily and I kind of started it and just invited other people. I gave it 3 stars. I listened to this on audio, but then I read it physically too because I just couldn't get enough. It was nice going back into the world and just seeing the girls again and everything. I then did read later on, but let's talk about it now. I then read The Awakening as Told by the Boys, and that's not a reread. That's a new read for me, but it's basically the first book but told by the boys' perspectives. So pretty much Zodiac Academy is about these twin girls, the Vega twins. They've been living in the human world their whole life, but on their 18th birthday get told that they're actually fae princesses, and if they want to get access to all of their wealth, they have to graduate from the Zodiac Academy and like learn all their powers and like master their powers and stuff. And then you've got these 4 boys who are the heirs, and they're the sons of the council, because the king and queen have both died, and the counselors have just been ruling Solaria this whole time. And so now that the princesses are back and the boys are like, like, no way. We've been growing up our whole life knowing that we're going to rule Solaria. You guys need to pretty much fuck off. It's about those two, and then there's like a bigger bad. And yeah, like, it's really fun coming back into this world. I really do enjoy it a lot, and I'm very excited to get to Rufus Faye this month in March. The Awakening is told by the boys. I think it was a 3.5 stars. I think because, yeah, we got more of Lance. I love Lance. I am a Lance girly, and there's nothing you can say about it. It was nice to figure out why they were such douchebags in this book and just get their perspectives on things. I love it. I'll take anything about these people. Next, I read Locked by K.L. Steele. This was 2.5 stars. This was a short novella because the author is going to Babe next year in Sydney. It was a bit weird. If this is the one I'm remembering, this is about this girl who just gets kicked out of all these schools because she's just such a bad girl, and her parents have like one last stand, and so they take her to this like boarding school, and you've got these two twins who rule the school. One's an angel and one's a demon, and turns out they're both fated mates with this human girl. And then there's like this other shifter who's also fated mates. I don't know, it was weird. Yeah, I'm going to read the sequel because it was fun, but it was just, it's not a great book. Then I read Kindred by Octavia E. Butler, gave that one 5 stars, really enjoyed it. It was very triggering, but still, I don't know, this is my second Butler, and I think she is such an amazing storyteller, and I definitely cannot wait to pick up other books by her. So yeah, definitely, it's one to pick up whenever, like whoever you are, whatever you read, it is a book that you need to pick up. I then read Moon of the Crusted Snow by Geshig Rice. This was the start of Gente's Inferno. This was for circles 9 and 8, and I gave this one 4 stars. It's a winter thriller set in this, what do they call it, like a community. We've got the Native Canadians, I think, and they've been cut off from the rest of the world. They've got no power, and you've got this white guy comes in and was like, hey, like, I know how to fix things, and shit starts going from there. I think I just wanted more scariness. Like, yeah, being like isolated in winter is cool and all, but I feel like it ended just as the story was beginning. Like, I wanted more of just, I don't know, I wanted more thriller / horror aspects, I think. And that's just, I'm still trying to find my perfect horror. I then read Contract Bound by Elle May, and this was a contender for Best of the Month, even though I only gave it 4 stars, just because it was so fun. So this is like a sapphic bodyguard romance with a vampire and a vampire hunter. So you got this vampire. She is pretty much like royalty. She's about to take over the like largest clan of America, and so her family enlists the help of the vampire hunters to make sure that the vampire doesn't get assassinated or whatever. She's like, I don't need a bodyguard sort of thing. I can take care of myself. So she always gets the hunter, like her bodyguard, to break a contract, whether it be like by drinking on the job or lust and things like that. And so she's like, I'm going to break this hunter. But the thing is, this hunter has the biggest agenda against this particular clan because, well, she thinks that they murdered her whole family. And so she's like the best hunter there is and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was a very, very beautiful romance between those two. I don't know, not beautiful in the sense of like, I'm trying to think of a beautiful romance. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But just like, it was enemies to lovers, bodyguard, sapphic, like what more could you want? And yeah, the ending cliffhanger, so definitely want to pick up the sequel soon. But I really do enjoy this author's writing, so I'm excited to pick up more. They also write under Eden Emery, I think, which is their contemporary stuff. I then read Trust in the Fallen by Montana Fire, and it says here I'm giving it 3 stars, but I think I'm popping it down to 2 stars because I was bored a lot. So this was another book for Babe, and it's about these 2 guys who they always seem to do everything together. Like, they got married around the same time, and they've grew up together, but then they got divorced around the same time, and now they're living together, and they're like, we need something, but we don't know what we need, blah, blah, blah. This chick walks into their sex club because she is going to catch out her fiance, and the fiance is like about to beat her up in front of this whole crowd, and the owners like come get her, like, call, because she's dressed as an angel. They like call her Angel and shit. It's just, yeah, about them trying to figure out, because it's like a poly-throuple sort of thing, but also like the girl thinks she has to marry this dude because when she was younger, she was defending herself and she killed someone. And so she thinks she's going to go to jail for it. I don't know. She must have been very, very sheltered. I don't know. It was just so many things is happening, and I'm like, who would treat your child like this? Like, she's a grown daughter, but you're still treating her like she's 2. Like, even I would treat my 2-year-old better than what you're doing to her. I'm just glad it's over. I then read Take a Chance by Mieko May, and that was a 5-star read. This was so short, it was 69 pages. It's about this girl having an island vacation. She meets this guy there, but it turns out they actually went to high school together, and it's sort of them like starting something there, and it was really cute. It's just like a fun palette cleanser. And then I read Iron Widow by Jiren J. Zhao. This was so freaking good. Let's see if I can remember what it's about. Got this girl, Zetian. Her older sister was killed by one of like these princes, because you've got these mecha things, sort of like Pacific Rim. I don't know how else to explain it. And the whole like thing is, you've got the one male, and he always, and you've got 2 people that can control the big suit animal thing, the male and the female. And then the male usually ends up taking all the female's power, like chi or power, whatever, and ends up killing her. So that's what happened to her older sister. So she applies for it to get her revenge. I love this woman so much. And then there's like a little like throuple a relationship as well, and they're all very morally grey, and I just loved it so much. And I really hope we get Heavenly Tyrant soon. It looks like the publisher is just messing around, so hopefully they sort their shit out. And that's when I read The Awakening is Told by the Boys, and then I read Love and Other Disasters. So this book is set in a reality cooking competition. You've got, I can't remember the names, but you've got this girl who's just broken up with her high school boyfriend turned husband. They've been together for years, and they've just divorced. Well, they're divorced for over a year, I think. And they're like, I'm not living life, I'm just doing it. So she goes across country to participate in this show, this competition. And that's where they met London. I remember London. And London is the first non-binary competitor. I really didn't like them, unfortunately. I didn't like, they were both separate. They were cool, but together I really did not like their relationship at all. Like I said, she's just got a divorce, and she's like living life. She's running around trying to like make the best of her time there, and like London like would go with her, but just not have fun. Or like, look, I'm just gonna call her Sophie because I can't remember her name, but they go to the beach, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go play in the beach, whatever, and London's just like, okay, and like just watches them and gets all grumpy. And then like Sophie would like, oh, race you back to the car, and like she would race to the car, and then London would be like, grunts, and like just walks back. I'm like, Sophie, you deserve so much better. You need someone who will do these things with you, not like you just got out of the most important relationship of your life, that you just deserve more than that. And then just some things, like London is like one of the biggest red flags in the freaking world. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Meredith. I know you loved it, but we can like different things. Moving on, I then read Who the F Cares by Who the F. This was a graphic novel about this girl, but her and her family goes on this trip to like Disneyland or one of them. And they're Muslim. So it's about just their family life. It's like a slice of life sort of thing, but also like because they're Muslim, they have to pray. Huda is like the middle daughter, and she just doesn't, like, she feels weird praying obviously in public and stuff, and about how, and it's also like a sisterly relationship, like how they all hate each other because they're sisters, like they're supposed to hate each other, but like they all come together for like a good reason at the end. It was just really fun, and I just love graphic novels like that. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. And then I read Lunar Love by Lauren Kung Jessen. This was for Shani's Baby Chaos Book Club, and I gave it 3 stars. It was mid. Sorry if you can hear the airplane. We live right near an airport. Anyway, you've got this girl, I can't remember her name, and she is about to inherit, basically the company is like a matchmaking service where they match each other on their Chinese zodiac, and this new app pops up where it's pretty much the same thing. And so she sort of gets into a relationship with the creator of the app, and she does it knowingly, but he doesn't realize. And she's like lying the whole time. She's like, oh, blah blah blah, like I don't know who you are, I don't know how, but like she cheated the app to get a date with him. And I'm just like, I did not like the cheating, and it went on for like probably, I'd say about 40% of the book. I did not like the lying. And then like he was really cute, but she was like, no, like, oh my god, like we can't be together because our Chinese zodiacs don't match up, even though her grandmother, who created the whole matchmaking service, was like, it doesn't matter. And she's like, no, you're wrong. And like shut up. I then read A River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey. Now this was a contender for favorite of the month as well, because I read this with thick thighs. It was just so fun. I listened to it in like one sitting. It's about, there was like this hippo act that the Americas declined, but it's about if it went through, like, and they went ahead with it. And so like you've got all these pet hippos, and you've got like these wild hippos, and this main dude, he's been contracted by like the CSI or FBI or somebody to pretty much get a group of people together to go and investigate something. I can't remember what the thing they were supposed to do. Anyway, I still had a really fun time. It was all about the vibes. Anyway, so you got him, and then you've got, there was a fat lady, and it was, so she was probably my favorite character, to be quite honest with you. And just the romance between the main male dude and then the trans character too was very, so good. They were non-binary. So non-binary rap in that as well. Just had a really good time, and I'm very excited to pick up the next book. I have read Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey, and I really enjoyed that. So definitely, I think Sarah Gailey is becoming a favorite author. Oh, I then read Moonstruck Volume 1 by Grace Ellis, and this was just a cute graphic novel. I think she's a werewolf, and her romance with another werewolf, they're sapphic, and you've got magician going around and turning people normal and like turning people human. And so it's about her and a group of friends like trying to stop them because her bestie, who is a centaur, like turned human, and he doesn't want that. He wants his hoofs back. And then I read Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up by Charis Reed. This was a 4-star read. This was fun. There were some things I was like, ooh, the steamy moments like leading up to it, and they always were getting interrupted, like the tension. I love that. Once they finally got together, I was like, ugh. But I enjoyed the 3rd act breakup. The gist is she is a summer college teacher, and he is the owner of this bar, and he is doing summer college classes, and she needs extra money because she's only got to teach one class. So she gets a job there, and he's taking her course. So she is his teacher, but he is also her boss. So they've got those weird power dynamics, but there's just so much tension between them, and he also is widowed, and she has a chronic illness. Off the top of my head, it had all of these different aspects to it, and yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. He was a bit alcohol-y, but it was addressed, made sense for the ending. But yeah, if you read it, you'll find out. And then I buddy read Patience and Esther by S.W. Searle with Jan from Jan Agaton. I was on her Patreon sprints, and we read it together for that, and that was really fun. This book, I didn't realize how saucy it was going to be. It's a graphic novel, and you get right up in there, and it's sapphic, and it's an Edwardian era about these two maids falling in love and trying to like make their own way, even though they're both women, and it was just really cute. But yeah, like I said, it also very graphic for a graphic novel. And then I read Animal by Lisa Taddeo. This was Jan's Full Moon Book Club pick for the month of February, where I was the co-host. I will link the live show up above for you because we had a fun time. Let me tell you, the book was weird. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting more female serial killer, not whatever this was. You've got this woman who only dates married men. When one of them shoots himself in front of her while she's on a date with another one, she like leaves town and goes cross country, and then you get flashbacks to her childhood and like why she's dating married men. And I don't know, I just was expecting more female rage in the stabby way, not in the literary way. And then I DNF'd The Build Up by Tati Richardson. I just was not caring about these two 40-year-olds that were acting like teenagers. I didn't get it. They were both co-workers, and she's had a bad experience with a relationship with co-worker in the past, so she like doesn't really want to go forward with it, even though they can both feel chemistry. And he's like, okay, and then the next day like sends her flowers and stuff. It's like, just let her be, dude. And just I don't know, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. I read The Kraken Sacrifice by Katie Robert. This was a reread for me. It was one of my favorites of last year. Definitely so good. I just love these two together. And I love Catalina by herself. Like, Catalina is me. I am Catalina. I don't know, she just says things that I think all the time. I think the Kraken, he was a bit too grumpy for my liking, but still, I don't know, Catalina makes up for it all. I don't know, I just love them, and I wish Katie Robert wrote more with them. And then last but not least, I read A Dark and Starless Forest by Sarah Hollowell. This was 4 stars. 4 stars? 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. So this was a really fun book. I really enjoyed it. So it's a YA horror about this girl. She lives in this house in the forest with a bunch of other kids and this one caretaker called Frank. And he is teaching them all, like, they've all got powers. They've all got funny powers, and they've been dropped off there by their parents because the parents just couldn't deal with them. And so it's very big found family. And what starts happening is some of the kids start disappearing. You find out there's something sinister going on, and that very like queer normative, and like half of the children, well, not really children, I think they range from like 19 down to like 6. So like half of them were like fat, and then you had lots of diversity, and I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely excited to pick up Sarah Hollowell's next book. But yes, so that is it for my February wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what was your favorite book that you read in February. And if you did get to the end of this video, pop a let's pop a hippo emoji in the comments below. I don't know if I did the hippo for the vlog, but let's do hippo again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.